Okay, we're back for another part to this. All right, we left off with how Nebuchadnezzar had pulled everyone into the dedication of the image. Okay, and they all stood before the image, okay? It's important you understand that they stood before the image. All right, then it goes on to say, Then an herald cried aloud, To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and tongues. All right, keep in mind that applies to the Antichrist. How all people, nations, and tongues will be affected by him in the tribulation. Okay, basically what the Lord has showed me is Nebuchadnezzar is an example of the Antichrist. Of course, Nebuchadnezzar was in ancient Babylon. We are, in the days that we live in these last days, we are in the time of the Babylon system. And basically that's the rule over people. It's what basically the whole world lives under, is how we, how society has been set up. I guess is the best way to put that. Where, for example, here in the United States, because I do believe that God has shown me the United States is the hub of the Babylonian system. And it's where idol worship, not in the sense of a literal statue at this point in time, but idol worship keeps us from the Lord. And that being, God showed me the so-called almighty dollar. God showed me how that Satan had set it up, that basically, I guess the best way to explain it is to get people focused on something that seems important in life, to where they do not have time for God. Because if he can keep them unfocused on the Lord, then he don't have to worry about them having a relationship with him, about them seeking salvation through Christ. He doesn't have to worry about that, because he has got it set up to where people focus on chasing the dollar. I mean, let's face it, life is set up without it. You're not going to make it on this earth. You got to have that dollar to make it on this earth, okay? And that is basically what Satan has controlled us with, is that ongoing fight to have, and to have more, and to make more so we can have more. Anyway, back to the subject here. I just want to give a brief explanation of what God had showed me about Babylonian system of this day. And why it is important that we see how Nebuchadnezzar and ancient Babylon, how it shows us an example of how the last days will be. This scripture specifically pertains to the Antichrist. Okay, as we read on, it says in verse 5, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, I don't know what that is, psaltery, something I can't pronounce, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. Okay, you see, the golden image is a prime example of the almighty dollar that Satan has convinced us that we have to chase in this rat race that he has constructed for us, to keep us unfocused from the Lord. So here we got Nebuchadnezzar. He's trying to set up this system of worship, to worship the golden image, and it being of gold is an illustration, an example of what Satan has set up as far as values. Okay, seeing the value of things as more important than what we really need to be focused on in life. Okay, to worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Okay, boy, I've talked too much again. Anyway, and whoso falleth not down and worship shall the same hour be cast into the fiery furnace. Okay, so here we see that he is commanding people to worship this image that he has set up. So I'm going to have to cut this off again and do another one. These 5-minute videos don't hold a lot of talking, do they? Anyway, I'm going to stop this one and get this started loading, and I'll be back again.